G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Well, look, it's just bloody dry. Still no rain around at all. The temperatures are sort of low 30s and things like that. So I think the night time is getting down to 2021, and look, that's okay. We're not sleeping with the aircon on anymore. There's a bit of breeze around, so we can open the windows and get a nice breeze through the bedroom and have a good camp. And yeah, so well, I'm in Bundy Bear's shed at the moment. It's a little bit warm, but it's only early in the morning, and I haven't had the aircon on yet or anything like that. And with my little shipping container workshop up at the house here where we are now, the sun hits those two doors at the end there, and if you're up using the lathe or the milling machine early in the morning, it gives you quite a bit of warmth through there, which in Queensland at this time of year is not something we're looking for. But doesn't matter. Yeah, it's that's just how it works in Bundy Bear's shed here. So yeah, not much we can do about the weather. If we don't get some rain soon, we're in deep shit. There's no rain, no water in the dam, and I've just done a little walk down to the dam, so it'll be at the end of the stew. I've got a couple of little videos I've tacked together for the end of the stew, or maybe a two-part one. Who knows? We'll just I don't know. I never know till I hop on this bloody little computer and start editing and buggering around. Then I know what's going on. And so, but yeah, no stew last week, and the reason was, look, I was just mowing, slashing, whippersnipping, spraying weeds, cleaning the weeds around the orchard, just tidying the place up, and just getting it looking good. And yeah, there was just all weekend just doing that, no shed time at all. I'm not getting much shed time just at the moment because yeah, we have this wedding coming up, and the wedding's next weekend on March 13, and so we're getting organised for that. And I've been working on the ute, trying to I've been working around the property here of a weekend, then of an evening after work I try and tidy the ute up, and a few more jobs done on that. But I've spent a lot of hours on that ute, and at the end of the video here we have a walk around the ute, what I'm up to so far. But we're actually waiting for supply of parts, and that's just the COVID times we live in. And ARB, the Australian company that we're getting the bull bar from, they're manufactured in Melbourne, but Melbourne, which is the capital of Victoria, down the bottom of Australia there, they've had a bit of a wild time with this COVID, so a lot of the factories had to shut for weeks on end, and they'd just get going again, then they'd lock them down again because making bull bars wasn't an essential service, and parts supplies are a problem for other things. So getting the insurance job done on our caravan, the Jayco, the caravan people, they just send a letter out to anyone with a new caravan saying that due to the companies that supply them with parts having locked down, having trouble supplying, manufacturing parts, if you've got a new caravan ordered, a lot of people had a 5 to 9 month wait depending on which model it was. Well, they've just sent a letter out telling people that they have to wait. There's going to be another 7 weeks added to that, so that's another couple of months. So yeah, look, it's strange old times we live in. We're having a little bit of trouble with parts. We're finding we're running out of parts a lot, and the suppliers overseas, as in the Sparexes and the quality tractor parts and things like that, are having trouble with supply. The Bearco and all them, they're waiting on a seat shipment. Everyone's running out of seats. Sparex, I think the black seats, just a black universal sprung seat. I think both companies are running out of them. And they're just too bulky for me to bring in from quality tractor parts or someone like that myself. The bulk just makes it not worth it. When you when you got a $150 seat, you can't put another $30 per seat on for freight. So we are finding bits and pieces like that we're running out of, and that's just the supply chain at the moment. We're shopping amongst our suppliers to try and fix bits and pieces. Qualities, we're putting about 2 orders in a week over in quality, and flying that in. And the parts aren't cheap. but we get a supply line. So that's how that works. That's just business. Usually part of my job in at work there is to build a website. You know, put new parts, look for new products around the world, and buy them in and do an evaluation and put them on the website. But at the moment, I'm not putting anything new on the website just at the moment because it's just frustrating. You think, oh, there's a part I haven't got on there. You know, particularly with a Fergie or something like that. And but then you have a look, and the people have got it listed, but there's only 2 in the country, or there's 1 in Australia and 2 in England. So you're just giving yourself a headache if you're going to put that part on your website and sell it. Then the poor fellow that buys it, you've got to ring him up and say, look, we've run out. So do you mind waiting? We don't like doing that, but we do it. That's part of business, so we have to do that. So yeah, I'm not doing much there. And as I say, with this wedding and that, I haven't been up the shed to do any work really at all. The only thing I did yesterday morning while I was getting up and racing for the day was I spoke earlier about the 188 steering box, and if those who follow the channel will remember, I bought a Massey Ferguson 188 and I took what I wanted out of it for the trekking tractor, and I've got a spare 4248 Perkins up the back, which we may just drop a kit into one day. And so with the steering box, I spoke to Sparex and we got enough parts, I believe, now to do that up. So it had the dash all around it and the steering wheel rusted on and all that. So I did a bit of a video yesterday morning about getting the steering wheel off, and it took me a couple of goes and buggered around. It was just a bit of muck-ass and ramble. I had a few minutes, I thought I'll get that ready and get it all pressure cleaned up, so when we get through this wedding, we were thinking of going away for Easter, but I said to Jude, I wouldn't mind sort of staying home and doing a bit of catch-up filming and things like that. So we'll just see. We've got a new ute we want to go out in. I've had that ute for, look, it's got to be 5-6 weeks, and I've only done 500 kilometres in it because I'm always working on it. Yeah, and it only goes to work 3 days a week, and I've got the extra spare tyre for the back now. Peter Walton got that for me, and look, it's getting really close, but we're waiting on the bull bar. We've got a new awning getting made for the side, and it's getting made, but there's like a 6-week wait for that. And yeah, we're just doing other bits and pieces. I don't know, it's just one of those things at the moment. If I had all the parts, I'd probably take a few days off work and I just hit it and I could knock it over in a few days. But I just can't get the parts at the moment, so we just got to follow along with that. And that's fine. With the young fella's wedding coming up next weekend, we've had that much to do around the place. You know, we're trying to tidy up and get a table inside in the garage set up for if we have a bit of bad weather and we're having cooking, we can put a spread out there. And then we cleaned all the pool room out. It's been all the junk. Go you collect some crap over your life. So we've cleaned all that out, cleaned the pool table up for the young ones to have a game. I've still got a couple of Barbies to clean up, and yeah, we just try to make the place nice. And to tell you the truth, it needed it. We were getting a bit untidy, a bit grubby, and everything needed a bougie. But once again, like we've pressure cleaned the concrete and all that, and we weren't doing that because we didn't have any water. We used to run the water from the dams up to do that, and it was clean water, and so anyway, the few little showers of rain we've had, our tanks are looking fairly good. Like our tanks on the house here, we're only like 12-14 inches down each tank, so that's plenty of water for Judy and myself. And so when we get our guests this weekend, we got plenty of water. We're hiring an extra toilet for outside and an extra shower, and so we've got enough water to run down to the shower and all that sort of thing. So water at the house here is not a problem. So that's what we were using for pressure cleaning the tank water. So that's fine. That's the job done pretty well. And yeah, just a big tidy up. So my life at the moment's been tidying up and trying to behave myself, looking good. So I've still been on the diet, mainly like carnivore, keto carnivore type thing. There's no carbs, no sugar. well, not very much anyway, keep all that to a minimum. You'll probably see my shirt's starting to hang off me a bit at the moment. The shoulder is down to here on both sides, and it's just, yeah, getting a bit sloppy, so that's good. I got to hitch me duds up all the time too now. Anyway, that's a worry, isn't it? But as of Friday, I'd lost look, around 15 kilograms. So what that is in pounds, I don't know. I'll just have a, oh look, it's 30 pounds. That'll do. For those who need to know. A memory come up on my Facebook page just this last week of my friend Rocket, Dave. I was at his 60th birthday party, and it was 3 years ago, and at that stage I was the photo, I always keep that photo, it's just a reminder of where you can get to, and I was 144.4 kilograms then, so that's a big bastard. and anyway, yeah, 12 months later, from that I'd lost 34 kilograms. I was down to about 110, and that's where I'm at now. So I bounced down to about 106 and 7 on the odd occasion, but I couldn't maintain that. But I've got different things happening now, so I'm down to around 110 kilos. So still no bloody spring chicken. I'm still a big fella, but I've been doing a lot of walking and things like that up the back where I take the ute. I've been walking, and everything's got pretty well skinny now. My boots are a bit skinnier, my legs are definitely skinnier. My belt, I'm on the last hole of tightening that up. I still got my gut, oh faithful here. It took me a lot of years to grow that, so it'll probably take a while to get rid of it. So yeah, look, that's been going well, and look, I've been eating like a king. I've never been a salad person, and you know, salads are overrated to buggery in my book. But anyway, Jude used to rattle me chain to eat me salads and veggies, so you did. But now I'm mainly having rib fillet steak, and which is bloody expensive, but you know, when that's all you eat, it doesn't matter. And so I'm eating meat and eggs and bacon and fish and seafood, prawns, or shrimp as they get called overseas, but we call them prawns here. So any seafood, any beef, pork, chicken, all that sort of stuff is good. Eggs are good. They've got good stuff in them, but I'm not having, oh, cheese is okay. Not the highly processed plastic shit in the wraps. I don't use that, I just use a bit of mild or tasty cheese. It's not processed as much, and the carbs are way lower. So yeah, look, that's going good. Pardon me. Yeah, I've had no trouble sticking to it at all, and I haven't had I hadn't had a beer until this last Friday evening. I'm scratching my neck, I'm a bit sunburnt. I was out doing all the work with a t-shirt on, I'm a bit sunburnt around the back of my neck. Might be a redneck, who knows, probably am, I haven't looked. Yeah, I hadn't had a beer since like probably Australia Day or something. It wasn't a New Year's resolution, it was just, I better get my finger out, and yeah, we got this wedding if I wanted to look good in my wedding duds and things like that. And the wedding is, it's neat casual, like I'm not putting suits and ties and all that on. I'll dress up, but you know, it's not a formal white collar, black collar, whatever they call it, event. It's just neat casual, and I'm the father, I'm Tim's old man, so bloody, no bastard's going to be looking at me. They won't give a toss. But yeah, I got a thing that was saying that a couple of the wines, Yellowtail in Australia make a wine, and it's a white wine, which is not my favourite anyway, but they've got a white wine that's got 0.3 of a carbohydrate in 100 mils, I think it was. And so you could drink a bottle of wine, 700 mils, and have 2 or 3 grams of carbs. And some of the people on the keto carnivore diet, they've been drinking that, and it doesn't spike your insulin, your sugar, and it doesn't put you out of ketosis and things like that. So so I bought some of that, and there was 3 different ones, and so Friday evening I said to Jude, I'm going to have a crack at this before we get visitors, and I'm thinking I may having a big drink, then I'm thinking, oh, that's shit. And so yeah, there was a Cab Sav, I think, and Chardonnay and Semillion Cab Sav, and they're the low sugar ones that you could have, and you know, if you wanted a tipple you could do that. And the other things, you know, spirits, gin and things like that. So on Friday night I cracked a bottle of Cab Sav, bloody lovely. Oh, not as good as me red wine, but it was okay, did the job. And so that was okay. Yeah, I don't seem to get hangovers, so that's good. Not bad ones normally. So yeah, we had visitors Saturday evening for dinner. So I said to Jude, oh, I might have another bottle of wine. Just, you know, this low sugar stuff doesn't put me out of whack. And well, I cracked the Chardonnay. Well, I had half a glass and I tipped the glass out. God, it was shit. Not my cup of tea, but other people must love it because it's a good seller. Yellowtail Chardonnay, but not my thing. And so then there was another bottle there of Semillion Cab Sav. Now I've probably said those words wrong because I'm not a wine connoisseur. I'm just a bit of a piss pot, really. But yeah, and I had a glass of that, and I thought, oh, it just didn't spin me wheels at all. So I went back over to soda water, which is what I've been drinking. You know, if I feel like a fizzy drink of an evening, I just have a soda water. Well, I actually tried Jude's into oils, and I put a couple of drops of lemon oil in, and that gives you the taste, but the lemon oil burns your lips a little bit, but not to worry. But yeah, just that was sort of interesting, and I've got a couple of bottles of gin there, because I was thinking, oh, what am I going to do at the wedding here? And look, I'm just going to have a few beers and get on it a bit. And but I've always liked gin and squash as a nice drink. Rum and Coke. I've never been a real Coke person, but I asked Jude, I said the other day, I said, there's some Solo Lemon Zero Sugar. Can you buy me a little box of 10 of them, please? So she brought that home, and so I got into it, and it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, so I thought, oh, well, if it's got flavour, some chemical shit. So anyway, I cracked one and drank it, and I thought, look, it's bloody nice. It's full of flavour. It is a good brew. And so then I got onto the, there's a couple of little additives, 201 and something like that, and that's ascorbic acid, which is, they call vitamin C, the manufactured vitamin C, ascorbic acid. So it's got ascorbic acid in it and something other else I looked up, and look, none of it was too bad. I mean, bloody, the arse shouldn't drop off next week or anything. So I'll probably, this week with the nephews and that coming, I'll probably have a couple of gins, and I might have a bloody rum and water or something like that. We'll just see. I've got to play up a little bit. I can't have all my mates here and drink cups of tea with me bloody pinky sticking up. So Ray and Shireen's caravan's in the paddock here. That's my nephew. He come through Saturday on the way to their kids' place. They live in Banana in Queensland, and they dropped the caravan off here. Then they headed off to Pimpamar, where their kids live down on the Gold Coast. And Wednesday they'll be back, and Thursday's getting his caravan serviced in town here. So we'll have visitors Wednesday night onwards. So yeah, so we'll probably have a bit of company and have a bit of fun with it. I'll go to work for a couple of days, but I said to Jude, I'm not interested in work much this week. And so yeah, I'll probably have Thursday, Friday off or something like that. I'll go to work Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and that'll be plenty. Hey, man shouldn't have to work any more than that, eh? We'll see. On Facebook I put out a thing where I was with the Ferguson 23C engine. Now my friend Paul, I've just done a little clip outside. My friend Paul gave me an engine. He got a wrecker tractor, and he dropped the arse end off a while ago, and he dropped the engine off a month or two ago now. And with Sparex coming on board again for next year, and I was looking for a bit of direction for the channel with something a bit different and something new. I didn't want to restore another whole tractor. I'm a bit over restoring whole tractors at the moment. I still got to do the quality Tractor Spares tractor parts bonnet. I just got to clear the decks first. I just got to get everything organised. So I am looking around for someone in town that can do my painting for me. The mechanic and I love doing the painting and the panels. I'm not particularly good at it. Although I get my tractors looking nice, but I'm not particularly good at it. It takes me a long time, and it's a bit of a waste of time when I could be doing interesting videos for people and things like that. So we're looking at, there's a company I see on Facebook. I'm going to give them a ring. They do restoration, rust repairs and that. And I'll pay a few bob and just get some nice panels done, and we'll go from there with that. But yeah, we're just trying to couple together a little bit of stuff, and this wedding's taken up some time. And look, just tidying up, making the place nice for when our guests come, and yeah, so they're not traipsing through waist-high grass and things like that. Pardon me. Last weekend, Tim and Ali wanted to come out and paint some bottles for the tables and little wishing well and a mirror, and so I was sanding and painting and all that. So we spent a lot of one afternoon doing that. Yeah, so it's just been taking up a lot of time and just tidying up. So we'll be through that shortly. With the, and I said to Jude yesterday, oh, my little TE20, the little 54 one, I said I really need to get the tank on that and do that. But then what happens, I come along and I find another little job, and I've got to put a new oil pipe on the oil gauge, and like I could just put it on, but I said to Jude, no, I'm just going to wait and show you how to do it. Then the other thing that we're talking about with the channel is like a little workshop how-to series, and as we come across little jobs like that, and say let's just say to pick the oil gauge going up to the TE20 or the 35 dash, if the nut at the end's buggered or something like that, we're thinking of doing a little series on how to flare, you know, how to put a flare on the end of a pipe, and they'll just be little workshop snippets on just little jobs. And because a lot of them get done in the background, and I don't sort of bother showing all that. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, well, you know, why don't you do a little video on how to flare a pipe, what to look for when honing a cylinder, because, you know, every time you pull an engine apart, you don't have to put new liners in. You know, getting rid of the ridge on the bore and honing the cylinder, and on you know, wire size, crimping wires correctly and heat shrinking them, and there's just many things to look at, and which I suppose I never thought about. You just plug along and do it. So we're looking at some of that as well. So with this 23C engine out the back, I'm bouncing around a lot today. The 23C engine I've got outside here, I see in the workshop manual for it, there's an injector tool to make and a few things, so I've got it up to have a fiddle with that. Today I'll just put a little bit of time into that if I can. I mean, on Facebook there's been a lot of gossip about with the 23C engine on the Ferguson 35, FE35 Facebook page, and the FE35 has the 4-cylinder diesel engine made by Standard Motor Company, the 23C, and the MF tractors has that too. So the there's a lot of word going around that when you do the engine up, you leave the bottom oil ring off, and so I put a thing out. Why are we doing this, or why are people suggesting this? Because I've done engines up all my working life, and I've never left a ring off a groove ever. And I thought, well, what goes on here? There's got to be a reason. So anyway, I put a thing out, and I'm a member of the Friends of Ferguson Heritage Club, and look, they're just a good mob. It's just all Fergie stuff. There's their there's their little company, little club logo there. And I've been in that for a few years. I was in it ages ago, then I don't know, I must have not paid it or something like that. Next, I was out of it again, and now I'm back in. And I've been back in for a bit, and I just think, well, those people in the clubs around the world, they support me watching videos and things. So I'm in a lot of clubs, and I get a lot of newsletters and things like that. And I just enjoy the content. So anyway, someone said I was in the archives in the Friends of Ferguson Heritage Club. So anyway, next time I got a thing, and they'd set me up as Bundy Bear Shed in there, and it gave me a password and all that, and I could get in and view the archives, which was something I hadn't clicked onto properly. I'd been into the forum over the years as a member, but I found a lot of the stuff was, I don't know, not that interesting to me, some of it. But back at the time there was a bloke that had sort of override people a bit, but he's not there. But that's, anyway, they got me into there, run through the archives, and I've gone through all the service bulletins and little knickknacks and bits and pieces I could find in there, and I've decided I'm going to do a video just on that one subject. I've found service bulletins, and the service bulletins, someone's been kind enough over the years to scan them in, and I'm going to tidy up some of the scans if I possibly can, just for putting them up on the TV, just so people can read, and people can make their own mind up whether they put that bottom ring on or not. But I can understand at the time there was a bulletin come out from Massey Ferguson saying not to, but times change, and so. But look, I'm just going to do a little video, and it's going to be the first video I've ever done where I'm going to do screen grabs and probably voiceovers and things like that. So I've got a bit to learn there. But when you're researching anything, whether it's a Model T Ford or a grey Fergie or an FE35 engine, if I can get the information and just do little snippets of info like that, well, it's got to be a good, interesting thing. And it is interesting. I really get into that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to try and do a little video just explaining what I've found out about it, and whether I think you need to do it in this day and age or not. The companies, we'll have a quick look at the companies that supplied the piston rings back in 1955, 56, 57, 58 sort of thing. Yeah, and just what went on there. So that's something I'm going to try and set up here with my laptop, and I'm getting a bit of an old fart and I need a bigger monitor. I've got nice big monitors at work, and then I come home and look at this to do stuff, and yeah, I struggle a bit. But look, that's okay, no big deal. But it's just a little interesting subjects like that, things that changed. The 23C engine in the FE35s and the MF35s, they weren't a good starting engine. A lot of people had trouble, even people in Australia had trouble, yet I've had a couple over the time, and I've never had strife with them. Our cold days here, like a cold morning here, is 12 degrees C, which is a lot different to many other places, but I had one that I sold on to an old Dennis, a grey and gold one, and you could go to that any time. The heaters never worked. I didn't bother with them, just hit the key and boom, away she went, and it went like a beauty. And we did the slashing with it for a few years, and so you can get them running nice, and so we're going to do one up and bug around with it and just see. But most of it's, what's got it started is the research into why this ring shouldn't be put on. So we're going to run through doing the injectors, and we're just going to do the nitty gritty, just little chug along bits and pieces with it, and in the meantime, yeah, see what else we can get up to. But Jude and I have been having a yarn, and I said, yeah, I'm just, with the way I'm going with it at the moment, I've got that much to do. I've got work ahead of me, I've got videos waiting to go, I've got parts sitting there waiting to go, and no time. So I might have an extra day a week at home doing that, we're thinking, but we'll just see. It's just getting a happy medium, and while at work there now, at Queensland Tractor Spares, I'm not putting more and more parts on the website. I'm just putting a bit of a hold to that until we can get better supply chains sorted. Look, we've got a heap of stuff there now, like we've got 2,500 to 3,000 items there now, and but when I head down a direction, say, oh, I've got to look at Fords and Dexter parts, say, and I run through the engine parts and the brake parts. Well, you have a page of 45 items and you can't do a full run of parts. So, well, I'm finding that frustrating. But so while I'm not all that flat out there with that, I've probably got time to come home and do a little bit more. So we'll just see. Hey, it's nothing ever stays the same. But look, that's it. I've rambled on long enough. I'll get bloody sore jaw if I don't shut up soon. I'd say with the videos this will be a two-part stew. Yeah, because I've done a walk around the yard and I've taken the steering wheel off and a look at a few bits and pieces. We'll probably do this one in two parts. So, okay, that's it. Stay here for a minute. We'll do a couple of, well, we'll show you a couple of videos. Well, this might be a bit interesting for you. This is a, if we turn it that way you might recognise it, but it's a 23C diesel engine, and my friend Chris, he got hold of an old wreck that got sent to the scrappies, I think. So he got hold of the wreck and he took bits and pieces he wanted, and he's dropped the whole tractor off to me, and he's taken what he wants, so it's not complete, but that's fine. That's great that he thought of us. But what we're doing with this 23C engine, at the moment you'll see it's up in the carport near where I parked the cars, and Judy's gone to work for the day. There's my little machine shop in the shipping container there. So I'm just bringing it up here, and because we're going to have an upcoming series on restoring one of these engines, this is going to be my parts engine. This is going to be a spare that we're going to use for research and development on the for the videos. Like, you don't just, oh well, I don't anyway, you don't just buy a tractor and do it up and that's it. I often do a bit of research into it just to try and go get my ducks in a row, so to speak. So Chris has given me this engine, and there's a couple of things when you read the workshop manual. There's a couple of little tools you can make to help yourself out. One of them is for the end of the injection pump here to hold the timing train for the injection pump one way, so you can get an accurate timing on it. There's another tool for setting up the injector nozzles, which I'll probably sacrifice one of these injectors to do that. I have another 3 Ferguson 35s with the 23C diesel engine up in my shed, up in Bundy Bear's shed, and so I'm going to use this as a bit of a test piece. And there's things like, you know, we can jump on the lathe and make a little tool for popping that seal in, and some of these tools we can just draw up roughly, and yeah, someone else might like to make one if they're doing the job at a later date. So yeah, the Welsh plugs, they even got 1¼ inch stamped in them. Didn't they look like good stainless ones? It's not a head with a glow plug. It's not a coal start head or anything like that. But just today I just want to grab an injector out of it. I'm going to have a look and see what the little tool for in there is like. I might pull this front axle carrier off it and have a look at the tool for the front timing cover seal. They're little jobs that we can do. I haven't got a lot of shed time at the moment, but I do have a little bit of research and development time of an evening, so and through the day. So yeah, that's just something else that's going on in the background. Yeah, probably as if I haven't got enough to do, but anyway, we're just getting organised.